Guys, this is my diary and my journey of breakup, healing, and finding love again.
Yeah, and 7 years, that is a very long time.
Yeah.
Knowing somebody and then kind of untethering yourself
Yeah,
from
for
somebody
sure.
too. So I want to know, like, what was that process like before you even decided to write this album? What was that process like of, like, the breakup? I'm pretty sure, the
Yeah.
days weren't it wasn't linear in the way of you moving forward. There were
Yeah,
some
for
days,
sure.
of course.
I mean, at first, like you said, 7 years is no joke. It felt like everything just sort of fell apart, and obviously it was sadness for a few weeks, and then once I kind of acknowledged it and got a closure, I moved on and started kind of healing myself, and then I actually wanted to give up on love. I didn't want to go into another relationship. I'm like, I'm done. But then that's how life works. When you're not searching for it, the perfect love comes to you. And now I can happily say that I'm really happy and in love again.
That's awesome. And that's always like that's the best part of it, right? Because sometimes when you are in that breakup process, you're in that spot of like wondering, like, am I going to meet someone better?
Yeah.
Right? Or was that person like the best person for me? And you
Exactly.
just had to trust in yourself
Yeah.
eventually that you will bump into something.
Like, you don't have to force and like find it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It'll come to you guys.
Yes, monsters who are listening, you don't have to force love, okay? It'll just come to you. Especially, it's why work on yourself first.
Exactly. Make sure,
Yeah.
take time on yourself, heal, make sure you're really, really like moved on.
Yeah.
Don't, just straight away come back to another new relationship. Just take time, give yourself some space and heal, and then eventually it will come to you.
I want to know, Ranga, for you, like, how
Yeah.
did you know when you were healed from that breakup?
I think I knew that I was fully moved on and healed when I kind of didn't hold grudge anymore. I kind of just, because 7 years is a long time, and I was really close with her cousins, and they're like my bros. So even that was like, it just felt like natural, and I didn't have any grudge or anything. So I was like, what? I think I've properly moved on now, because before I was like still, angry and like, why?
Sure.
But after that, I was like, yeah, I think I've moved on for sure.
Yeah, and right, that's how you'll know. It's like when you can just like, you know what, I forgive
Yeah.
you.
Like,
I'm gonna let
It's not
this
meant to
go.
be, it is what it is. It really is. It is what it is.
I love conversations like this. I wish we could keep going. But we are going to talk about more of that. But let's talk first about your tracks in this album, Everything
Yes.
I Wanted to Say. So from Pushing Me Away to Love Again, feels like, obviously we are walking through this diary of yours, as you said.
Yeah.
So for you, which song did you feel that was hardest to write emotionally? And then which one actually surprised you the most?
Emotionally, I think, is the ballad called If You Don't. That one was pretty emotional. My guitarist helped me out with the chords, and I actually opened up to him and how I felt. And shout out to Waywin, his name is Waywin. He made me really comfortable and opened up. And I told him, like, because if you guys listen to the song, chorus 1 is different than chorus 2. So chorus 1 says, like, you can stay if you want, but it's okay if you don't. But chorus 2, I say, it's better if you don't stay. Like, telling her I've moved on. It's better if we separate ways. So that was pretty emotional to write. And a surprise, honestly, let me think. Probably Move On, because I came up with that when I was in a solo trip in Tokyo. I wasn't even planning to write any songs, and I heard a loop, the one that you hear in the song, and immediately lyrics, melodies just came naturally. And I finished the demo in like 30 minutes or an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a surprise.
It is definitely a surprise.
Definitely. And I like that you mentioned when you were saying if I don't, right? That
Yeah, if you
track.
don't, yeah.
If you don't. It's like when you mentioned that line, like it's better if you.
It's better if you go, like,
Yeah.
don't stay.
Yeah, I felt like maybe writing that probably was it cathartic for you to just like you have to sing it. You wrote it first,
Yeah.
and then you sang it.
Exactly. Even listening back to it, sometimes I'm like, whoa, I wrote this? That's kind of crazy, man.
At that time. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure, like, okay, that does strike a lot of emotion for
Yeah.
sure. And so Love Again, though, that is your closing track for this album, but it's also the star track of this album as well. So do you remember the moment, I guess, because it is Love Again, right? So
Yeah.
this is after the breakup, you've moved
After,
on,
yeah.
you've healed yourself, and you want to move forward in your life. So do you remember that moment when that made you believe in love again?
Yeah, it's when I had feelings for my current now girlfriend. She's actually off camera, guys.
Shout out.
She's to my left. Yeah, she just made it feel like I'm ready to love again. I really, like I said, I really wasn't looking for anything at all. I was like, put my head down, music first, no girls, no nothing.
Yeah.
But then she made me feel comfortable, maybe trust, like believe in trust again and believe in love again. So yeah, I guess that was the time where I felt like, you know what, I'm ready to love again.
Yeah, I love that. And so you're a singer-songwriter and you're also a producer, right? Especially in this album. So let's talk production. You're a one-man band pretty
Yeah.
much. So
Pretty much.
which track, it could be, part of this album or, any one of your singles, which track pushed you the most as a producer?
Pushed me the most, I think the song Strangers, because that uses an interesting like chord progression that I've never used, and creating that song I was really inspired by Lainey, and I was listening to their latest album called A Beautiful Blur, like on loop, and I was like, I want to make something like this. It's kind of not how I produce songs, but let's give it a try. And Strangers came to life because of Lainey's inspiration. So I think Strangers, yeah, you gotta listen to Strangers. It's a good one. Shout out to Lainey too.
Yeah, awesome. So Strangers is the name, and that was the most challenging.
Yeah.
As a producer.
As a producer.
And then singer-songwriter, would it be just this album, you would say? Because you had to dig deep.
I had to dig hella deep, yeah. I think this album was quite challenging, but some felt natural, like I said, Move On. Some songs just wrote itself, actually. So yeah.
That's awesome. So what would be your advice, let's say, for singer-songwriters or artists just in general, like when it comes to feeling raw emotion? Like, what is your, maybe a tip or a piece of advice when it comes to writing songs literally like from the heart and soul?
I think just be as honest and straightforward as you can, but no pressure too. If you feel like it's a bit too personal for you and you don't want to share it, it's fine too. But I feel like stay true and stay authentic, and just imagine like how you would want your fans and listeners to listen to your story. So just be honest, but don't be too pressured, and just have fun and take it. You have to have fun when you're writing songs. If you're not having fun, it's not it. That's like a rule I have to myself.
Okay.
If I have to force a song out, it's not it.
That could be another piece of advice too.
Yeah, don't force songs out, really, really.
It's the same way, like, don't force, love
Yeah,
when it comes around
exactly.
too, right? We're going
It's
full
a general
circle.
like rule, I guess.
Yeah, don't force anything.
In general, yes.
So, like, you've had this, there are moments when people would actually use your audio and then they would create content for it as well, especially around Southeast Asia. So you've had, these fan engagements, I guess, even just digitally, but have you ever had one that's stuck with you, whether it be digitally or like in person also, that you've encountered a fan and it was just like, it's memorable?
I think off the top was actually back at home in Singapore. I rarely get noticed there, so like one time my girlfriend and I were in the train in the MRT, and two guys, like, they call me like bro Ranga. I was like, what? Yes, I love your songs, man. They were seated and we were standing, so I was like, I'm very awkward when it comes to like fan interactions. So I was just like, thank you.
No.
I'm a big fan of yours. Keep doing your thing. I was like, thank you so much. And we had to get off at the same stop, so I like purposely slowed ourselves down and like let them go first. But that was pretty funny and quite memorable too. Yeah.
like I know that moment, right? Especially even if it's with just a friend. Okay, I have to go, and then you're going.
You know,
the same
yeah, you know
way.
what I
It's
mean?
like,
And you have to like,
okay,
let me
slow
look
down.
at my phone and not be
Yeah.
awkward.
Let me see where I'm going. No, that's amazing though. I mean, just to be, especially to be recognized, like